said you showed every fighter what it takes to earn it as a champion. Have you set a precedent for other fighters in any weight class to showcase the sport in the best light?
Sorry, what was that question?
it was a wordy one. He basically said, have you set a precedent for other fighters at any weight class to showcase the sport at its very best?
I don't know. I mean, what I've did is I've showed that hard work and dedication pays off. This has been 15 years in the making of hard work and dedicating my life to the sport, putting everything on hold, all my social life, things that I wanted to do with my friends, my family, my fiance back home, things that I've wanted to do and missed out on, all for this moment. It's all been geared to this moment, and it's finally paid off. It's finally paid off.
And before we get to the questions with the media in attendance, we have one from Neil McGlade from the Scotsman. I know you mentioned this on the broadcast, but further, just an additional message you have for Mr. Ken Buchanan back home.
Ken Buchanan, what an inspiration you have been to me since I was 19 years old. Since I walked in through the doors at Lock End Boxing Club with my coach Terry, who's here with me. He's like a father figure to me as well. He's not just a coach, he's like a dad to me, Terry. Since then, the days, I met Kenny and giving me a little bits of advice on how to train and how to live life and how to dedicate myself to the sport. And he saw me boxing a couple of times as an amateur and hitting the bags and sparring, and he said that I could be world champion, and I've proved him right, and I'm just like him. I'm so proud that I can go back and see him now when I go back home and see him just like you, champ. I'm over the moon. I'm over the moon.
Yes.
Josh, congratulations on the win. Jose Ramirez found a lot of quick pressure the first 3-4 rounds. First of all, how difficult was that to deal with? And when did you start to say, I got this in terms of timing him coming inside?
I thought I won the first 2 rounds. His pressure wasn't anything, out of the ordinary that I'd had before. I wasn't never in any trouble. He was a very good puncher when he went 1, 2, and then 3. He was good like that. His jab was quite good when he let it go. But apart from that, I was never in any trouble the whole time, the whole fight. Never in any trouble. So he was a very good fighter. I don't believe he could time me when I was feinting and using my feints and using my rhythm and my length and my boxing ability. He couldn't work me out.
Josh, to piggyback on that, over those first 4 or 5 rounds, Bennett said, discipline and patience was the key. So you were able to set things up and sort of draw him in and keep that gap short. Yeah. How difficult was it, just in terms of your mental game, to sort of just hold off until you could unleash?
It was quite easy. It was quite easy to keep the distance and keep boxing him. I actually could have made that fight a little bit easier, if I kept a little bit more disciplined. When he got success was when I put my hands up and closed my guard and then let him throw. That was when he got success, and he was strong doing that. It would have been a harder fight if I had decided to stand and trade with him, even though when I did decide to trade with him, I outfought him and landed the better punches. But that would have been a much harder fight. But I really do believe I could have made that fight a little bit easier if I just kept disciplined a little bit more.
Not only did you fully unify the division, you came to America, you beat a Mexican American. Do you feel like, and you played the mind games to the team, do you feel like you are a special breed of fighter? Is that why you're so, it seems like you're overcoming?
No, I'm just so determined, and my will to win is second to none. I'm so determined, my will to win and my desire to win. I did everything right this week. On the lead up to the fight this week, the plan was to get inside Ramirez's head and use his aggression against him, and that's what I did. It worked perfectly all week. I didn't mean any disrespect by anything. It was all just to get inside his head, and it worked. And it's proved it in that fight. I walked him into some good shots.
Josh, you're obviously supposed to protect yourself at all times, and he did not do that in the 6th round. Did you see something before that led you to think that was?
Sorry, what was that?
When you hit him in the 6th round with the uppercut,
yeah.
when they broke you, did you see something before that let you know that was going to be available to you?
Well, I knew that he was going to try for the left hook to the body or the right hook up to the head. The big wide hook. He's very good at that. So he left the cell open, he puts his head down, and I took a little step back and hit him with the uppercut. I actually think the referee gave him too much time. He gave him too much time. That should have been a fight over then. I thought the count was much longer.
Josh, are you surprised he stayed to the last bell? Looked like in the 7th you were on your way to a stoppage.
He was very, very tough. I mean, like, hats off to Ramirez. He was a very, very tough guy, tough fighter. What a champion he was. Great person as well. You know, I have nothing but respect for him and admiration for him. Even more so now after that fight. You know, he was a very good champion fighter. I hurt him a couple of times, and after I put him down, all the fight was on my terms, and I just stood and boxed him, and he didn't know what to do.
Josh, when you talk about potentially being able to get the stoppage, you came into the middle of the ring instead of being in the neutral corner there. Do you feel like if you had stayed in the neutral corner, you might have been able to finish him because, you know, Bayless wouldn't have pushed you back like he had done, and you would have had a little more time?
I don't know. I'm not sure. If I'd had a little bit more time, then yeah, because he was really flailing that round, you know, and then the bell went. You know, I believe the count was longer than it should have been anyway. But it is what it is.
Josh, congratulations on the win.
Thanks, Ellie. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You have a lot of options now. Do you fight Teofimo if he wins his next fight? Do you move up to 47? Do you move down to 35?
I don't know. We'll see what comes my way. You know, I'm not going to be short of options as what's happening now. You know, every fight's going to be huge. You know, every fight's going to be big fights now. So I'm not going to be short of options. So we'll just take it and see what comes my way. You know, just ride the wave.
Anyone you want? Anyone on your mind? Anyone?
You know, I'd like to go up to 147 and chase a real big fight like Terence Crawford. You know, I'm not going to sit and call him out and stuff. I think he's a great fighter, but I just think two undisputed champions going at it at 147 would be awesome. It'd be amazing.
Right over there.
Josh, you know, a lot of talk before the fight, but what did you say to Jose once you guys came together after the final bell?
Just nothing but love and respect. You know, it was nothing but respect, and it was just all mind games to get inside his head before the fight. You know, I meant no disrespect or no nothing towards him all week. It was just to wind him up and get him angry and get him agitated, and that's what I did. The plans, what I planned to do this week worked. It worked to a T.
Josh, congratulations as always, my man. But you mentioned there that 147 Crawford is a dream fight for you, but I know a dream fight for you is Edinburgh Castle or Easter Road back home in Edinburgh. The Scottish fans couldn't be in Las Vegas this time round. Do you think that you don't owe them that, but do you think it'll be good to give your Scottish fans something to get that Edinburgh Castle fight or that Easter Road fight next?
Yes, man. Andy, I've not boxed in my home city since
Joubert.
I believe it was
Dave
Miguel
Ra-
Vasquez at Inglestown in Edinburgh at the airport, which was a few years ago now. So I'd love to go back home and take a big fight back to Scotland, you know. And now, especially now is the time to get that fight at Edinburgh Castle or Easter Road. I know Easter Road are going to be up for having me there, and they've said it to me a few times. So I'd love to have it at Easter Road, but I'd love to fight at Edinburgh Castle. You know, I think that would just be iconic with the castle lit in the background.
Keith over there.
Josh, is there even